Well, hello there, Leo. It is so good to see you again. I'm Mary Sue, and I'm so grateful that you're here. Today, we are doing your Mars in Gemini reading. So, Mars went into Gemini on Saturday, August 20th, and it will stay there for 7 months until March 25th. Of next year. So during this time, we are going to get the clarity that we have been seeking in order to take decisive action on those things that we're trying to manifest in our life. You know, things that we're trying to either accomplish or experience in this lifetime. So it's really kind of interesting. Mars is usually in Gemini or any sign for only about 7 weeks. But because there's a retrograde in October, it is sticking around for a full 7 months. And it is also occurring in your 11th house of collective bonds, of energies with other people. And so during this time, you know, a lot of times you feel like you like to do things solo. You know, you have the weight of the world on your shoulders because you're the royalty zodiac sign. But during this time, you're going to be wanting to work more with other people. The other thing we have to realize is that because Mars is in Gemini, it's all about the words that we use. So we do have to be careful during this time of making sure that we are balancing our energy so we are not, saying things in a way that is, going to offend anybody. So it's also about taking a look, Leo, at relationships that aren't working and having conversations before you get to the point where you may want to break a bond with somebody. So let's get into this. If you're enjoying the content, please consider commenting, or subscribing. I really do appreciate all of your support. All right, so you have koi fish spirit. There is always enough. I really like that energy. And then watching clouds, lie back, rest, and relax. So, there's this energy. I really like this because I feel as if, in a way, because this is in your 11th house, you really are understanding that you can have more time for yourself to get dreamy, okay, and dream about those things that you'd like to bring into your life when you do work with others. There's this energy of, with there is always enough. A lot of times we don't want to work with others. We want to work by ourselves because we don't like competition, or we are concerned somebody will get more than we do. It's almost as if you're stepping into this energy of, I'd rather share everything with somebody or a group of people. Very much an energy of understanding that you can accomplish a lot more if you're working with others, and that even at the end, you may think, say you're working with 3 other people, you may have gone through a time where you were like, yeah, but then I had to share the profits with those 3. And now you're understanding, oh, there's plenty to go around. I do not have to worry about that. Wow. Okay, so what we're going to do is take a look at your present energy right now. And then we're going to take a look at the obstacle that you will be encountering, that you will be overcoming these next 7 months. Advice from Spirit. And then if you follow the advice, and remember you do have free will, the outcome at the end of this. Wow. Really lovely energy here. Taking all right, 6 of Pentacles on the bottom, an energy of, give and take. It sometimes is a windfall from the universe. We're going to take a look at that because, okay, we're going to start off with a bang. Here we have the Libra energy, justice, right? Bringing things, to be fair, to bring things into balance. There is a situation, a relationship, sacred reverence, and then the judgment card. There's almost this energy of bringing a situation back into balance. Okay, so you could have been, it could be a romantic relationship or a family friend relationship. It could even be like a business situation where things may have been imbalanced for some time, and now they're coming back into balance. Once again, that energy of working with others, whether it is a relationship or a business situation, but really and truly seeing the benefits. I feel like you're trying to give something a second chance here. Could be dealing with a Libra, but you don't have to be. Yeah, King of Cups, Ten of Wands, Two of Wands, Seven of Wands, getting on top of something, looking at this situation. Oh, it's the King of Swords. Okay, so you could be dealing with a Libra. Okay, have lots of Libra energy here. Libra, Gemini, or Aquarius. Seeing clearly how I feel like you're dropping the burdens. And to be honest, I feel like you're dropping the burdens of having to do something by yourself. It's almost like, yeah, I want more time for me, or I want more time for us, something like that, because you're choosing to go in a new direction. You're looking at a situation, you're saying, I want more balance either in my life, in this relationship, or in a career. I'm looking for more balance. Trying to balance work and play, or trying to balance, how much you're putting into a relationship and how much you're getting out of it. It's almost as if you're scrutinizing, I think at this time, finding the clarity, right? Analyzing. The King of Swords is like analyzing the things that are burdensome in your life, and then deciding, okay, I want to go in a different direction, making decisions, that will help bring you this balance in your life. So let's take a look now at your area of resistance or your obstacle over this time. Yeah, we have time for a nap. We have the Six of Wands and a powerful move. I feel, once again, this is what you're working on over the next 7 months. I feel like there is this energy here of needing to rest, of perhaps putting down these burdens. There's almost this sense that you have been working too hard, and it's about understanding a little bit that there are other people in your life, or your partner, or other people at work that can pitch in. It's almost as if you have been overworking yourself. And it's like, while you're sleeping, while you're taking your nap, right? You're kind of also looking at, okay, if I can rest and regain my energy, what move do I want to make? And what direction do I want to go in? I think you're taking a look at your everyday life, or your life in general, and you're kind of like, it's not on the path that I want it to be on. You could have been spending a lot of time kind of like building a business by yourself, or working on your career but not having love in your life, or working on love and not having a career in your life. There's something here that you're just kind of like, yeah, I've put a lot of time and energy into something, but I don't have the true balance in my life. Really a sense of I almost want to say it's a little bit of that energy where you have that moment where it's kind of like, this is not working. And I think that that's what we have to remember, is that during this time, our words, you could have that moment where you really want to tell somebody off. It's that's the kind of energy I have here. Like, it's kind of like, listen, I'm carrying all the weight and you're doing nothing, right? But it is about finding the loving way to be able to do that and still have the healthy boundaries so that you can move in the direction that you're wanting. Yeah, you are moving. You're Seven of Wands again, but look at, we have the Six of Swords. We have the Six of Wands and the Six of Swords. Both of them are, I'm moving forward, and almost an energy of moving forward without you. And yet at the same time, remember, you are working on bringing people together into your life in order to help lessen the burdens in your life. And that's what you're seeking. I feel like for some of you, you're kind of like, yeah, the people that you're around at this time are causing a lot of mental anguish. And you're kind of like, I need to move on. You may be by yourself for a little bit, in order to find a new soul tribe. I think you're kind of moving in a direction of, finding a new job or starting a new business with people that you can collaborate easily with. You could be leaving a relationship in order to find something that, once again, is not so burdensome. It's definitely about dropping the burden for you, whatever area of your life that is. So let's take a look at your advice from Spirit for this 7 months. So we have opening to discovery. I think it is about opening your eyes. You're getting clarity about the burdens in your life, but it's also about, okay, that I know I have to change. But it's then not just like, okay, dumping a relationship or a job or a career. It's also about opening to discovery, looking at different options, looking at ways that maybe this can work out, because you have, there's the Hermit energy. You might be alone for a while, but then you're coming together with a group of people. In the end, you are going to be celebrating with others. But you have to open yourself to seeing this in a different light. I think for some of you, you're not going to want that Hermit energy for, I don't know why, it's kind of like, I have to go and be by myself for a little bit and rethink this. I think you're willing to leave a relationship or a job or a career or a business or a situation. I think you're willing to leave it. You just don't know, where am I going to go once I do? I almost get a sense of a little bit of apprehension. That's the word, apprehension. It's not necessarily scared, it's apprehensive. You could have been thinking about this already, and now that Mars is a Gemini, you're not going to be able to deny it. I think you're going to make I think for some of you, it could be a relationship, because we have Page of Cups on the bottom. I feel like, we have the Three of Swords and the Hierophant. Your belief about something is changing. I think for some time you have been carrying this burden for some time. And you thought, I feel like it's almost this energy. I'm trying to think of, an analogy, but it's almost as if, I'll give you one. I used to have this, and this was years ago when they were kind of popular, a large pocketbook or purse, right? I mean, it was big. It was practically as big as I am, right? Now the problem, it was in fashion. Everybody was carrying them. But the problem, especially for me, was that everything went into that bag, okay? And it was this mindset, I fell into this mindset, this is great because I have this big bag, so I can take everything that I may need with me. Problem is that I was carrying that purse around all of the time. I mean, literally my shoulder. I started having trouble with my shoulder because of the weight of it. It was on my shoulder, and it was a shoulder bag, and it literally was hurting my shoulder. I went to the doctor. I mean, I didn't even recognize that. And then when I went to the doctor, and the doctor was like, well, yeah, you're carrying this heavy bag. I mean, he literally lifted it. It probably was a good, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 pounds, you know? And he was just kind of like, well, you're burdening yourself with this bag. And I was like, yeah, but guess what? I have to have that bag. You know, I got 3 kids and I have to carry snacks and a change of shoes. I'm going through this bag. I can't live without this stuff, you know? It was a belief that I had. I had bought into the belief that society had at that time that we had to carry everything with us. And it was a mind shift for me, right? I was almost heartbroken when I realized that I was hurting myself. I was hurting my shoulder. Besides that, I couldn't find anything in this bag. It was like a big black hole that I was carrying around with me, right? But it weighed a lot. So I feel like you have this burden. There's something like that, okay, that's holding you back. It's been with you for so long that you don't even recognize anymore that it is a burden, that it's what's causing your shoulder to hurt, right? It's almost as if you go to the doctor and then the doctor says, well, if you don't want your shoulder to hurt, you need to quit carrying that bag, right? You have to change your belief system about something that's hurting you, because we had the 3 of Swords, some disappointment. I feel like you don't want to do this at first. That's where I think this apprehension is. It's kind of like, no, this relationship is good for me. We've been married for 20 years. No, there's no burdens here. And it's kind of like, then you recognize that in this relationship, right, you're doing all of the work. The person that you're in the relationship with isn't helping in some way, in whatever that is, in the housework, in the emotional intimacy, whatever it is. It's kind of like, wait a minute, I'm putting all this time and energy, but I'm not getting what I want out of it. It's disappointing. It's heartbreaking, because you look at it and it's kind of like, no. But this could be also your job, your career. That, you know, the burden is that you're putting a lot of time and energy into it, but you're really not getting paid for all the time and energy, or you're not feeling fulfilled in what you're doing. It's almost as if, well, I just do this because this is part of my life, just like that purse. I was just like, but this is the part of my life. Like, I have to have all of this stuff. When I recognized that I really didn't have to have all that stuff. In fact, the stuff that was in that purse, I hardly ever used, right? And then it's kind of like, oh, okay, now I can see. Now I can celebrate. Yeah, I may have to feel, I mean, when I gave up that purse, I'll have to admit, there was some agony at first. I felt almost naked, right? It was kind of like, well, wait a minute. I can't go out of the house without that purse. For a while, I just left it in the car. Okay, just in case. And then it was kind of like, yeah, this is ridiculous. Like, you know, I had to wean myself off of the purse. I feel like it's almost like that you have to go through this time where it's going to be a little uncomfortable. But then on the other side of that is the celebration, because you're getting rid of a mindset, a burden, a routine, a habit that you have. Okay, that you're not even recognizing how much pain it's causing you. It could be that the people around you recognize it. You could have your friends or your family pointing out to you, you know, how something is really hindering you, is causing you more pain than you may think that it really is. Okay, so let's see where this is going. Yeah. Okay, so you have the 3 of Swords again, you know, this disappointment, but it's different because now I love this because you're observing it. You're not living it. It's like me putting the purse on the shelf in my closet, right? I can see it, but I'm not living it. It's not hurting me anymore. And I can step into this energy of, you know, call of the muse, being the muse, you know, being lighter on your feet, being ready to embrace all that is coming your way. Really, I'd love to hear in the comments, you know, what do you think your burden is? What is it that you're seeking, you know, something that you may not necessarily recognize at this time. And yet at the same time, I feel like there's a little part of your intuition that's like, yeah, I know what it is. I know what it is, you know? I went through this. I mean, it could be something really simple. I don't think it's super simple, but you know, I went through this phase where I dreaded, okay, literally dreaded emptying the dishwasher. It was like, are you kidding me? I have to empty the dishwasher again. It was like such a burden. It was terrible. I mean, it really was. And then I read this thing that said, if you have something burdensome like that you have to do, like literally having, you know, 3 kids and all, it was like the dishwasher went every day. You know, that meant I had to empty it every day. And that is the attitude I had. I just fill it up and empty it all day long. I mean, literally, that was terrible. And then I read this thing that said, if you have a task like that you really hate, set a timer, do the task, and see how long it actually takes you to do it. Well, I did that. And do you know, it took me less than 2 minutes to empty the dishwasher, but I had to gripe about it for at least 10 minutes before I emptied it, and at least another 20 after I emptied it, right? And then I realized that was my belief system, right? That I have this terrible burden. And like, I'm only laughing because now it's kind of like every time I empty the dishwasher, I really think, oh my gosh, it doesn't even take me 2 minutes anymore. It really doesn't. It's just kind of like, you know, but there are things like that in our life that we look at it and we think it's a mountain and it's really only a molehill. And I feel as if that could be part of this too. Yeah. Oh my goodness. This is so lovely. They want one more. Yeah. Queen of Swords. You're seeing the clarity in this. There's something you're ending here so that you can do this inner healing, this healing the bigger picture of something, you know, something that seemed, you know, just very difficult to get past is suddenly healed. Yeah. And you're seeing other options. You know, you're doing this deep healing in this one situation with this burden, whatever it is. And once again, I feel like it's not the dishwasher. It's something bigger. It's not the purse. It's something bigger, right? But by doing that, you're stepping into an energy of also being able to do this healing so that you can see the world in these brighter, more loving eyes. Okay, what else could this mean? Great card for this. There are always multiple ways to look at every situation. Our first reaction is usually rooted in our fears and limiting beliefs. Look at a situation today by stepping outside of the trigger and ask, what else could this mean? Today's soul action. Is there something your soul is calling you to learn in this moment, or is there a pattern that is ready to be broken? Walk in the other person's shoes and see it from their perspective. If it doesn't involve someone else, ask yourself, how is life happening for me right now? You know, I feel like that could be part of it too, is, you know, there is this energy of that there is, you know, some type of a burden, a belief system that is holding you back. And it could be in a relationship of any kind, romantic, family, friend, work. But it's almost as if, remember at the beginning I said it's about having a conversation before you just boot this person out of your life. I feel like in that moment of a conversation, you come to understand that you can work with this person. It's about looking at it from their perspective. I feel like the other person is also perhaps feeling a burden or some disappointment in this situation. But by having that conversation, you know, in a loving way, I feel like there is this sense that you can transform it with the Death card, transform it and then bring it into a much better, much healed energy. Scorpio and Aquarius energy there. Yeah, we have Taurus energy with the Hierophant. Libra, lots of Libra energy here. So, but it doesn't, you know, It's really about understanding that there is a different perspective of this burden, of this situation. For some of you, it could be a physical burden that you yourself have, something that is limiting your mobility. And it's about perhaps looking at this situation in different eyes for some reason. All right, well, I'm going to leave it there, Leo. It was so good to see you. I do personal readings. If you're interested, the link is in the description box below. And I really do appreciate all of your support through likes, comments, and subscriptions. And I will see you soon, and have a great day. Bye for now.